Hello, and welcome back to yet another episode of Blue Nexus Gaming, playing Minecraft. This is Blue64 here, or Blue Nexus Gaming, if you prefer. Either name works. I'm more familiar with the name Blue64. I used to use that name when I played RuneScape, which was a lovely MMORPG that I managed to get banned from because I was using automation software. But that's beside the point. Or at least that's their claim. You know. I'm not saying that it was true. I'm also not saying that it was false. I'm merely extrapolating advanced concepts. As far as any lawyers are concerned, I may have forgotten to mention that previously. Anywho, here we are up on the mountain where we were excavating, lowering these lanterns. They weren't just floating. I mean, I say that, but the first thing we're doing is, of course, we're excavating the place, so they're about to be floating again, which kind of makes that statement a bit of what's known as an oxymoron. I do plan to just, go ahead and go through all the different tools that I'm crafting here. I think I'll just go for basic enchantments for a little while until I get the diamond items situated properly. I am aware that the various enchantments and tools and whatnot are very extensively draining on the experience, which is all the more reason for me to go ahead with entertaining the concept of gathering 30 levels so that I am able to enchant my diamond equipment properly, so that I may perhaps go so far as to actually get good diamond gear. I might even get lucky with some of these level 30 enchantments and get mending, which would be absolutely amazing. I have not looked into obtaining the software which would allow me to map out the enchanting. However, I'm not all that fussed about it. I could do it. I could actually go forth and map it all out and whatnot, but I don't. It's a very simple program, the one I'm referring to. It simply tells you, okay, well, first, what is the first enchantment that you get? Okay, you get this. And you tell it, that's what I got. And then it tells you, okay, what's the second enchantment you got? And you tell it what you got again. And then you tell it the third enchantment that you got. Now it has 3 data points, which means it's able to triangulate your position amongst the random number generators, locations, as though it's a map. And then it just triangulates your position in the random number generation And then just tells you exactly what you need to do in order to obtain whatever enchantment you tell it you want, because the next thing it asks you is, okay, what enchantment do you want? It's like, that simple? Yeah, that's simple. You know, I mean, what'd you expect? It's literally the only thing the program is designed to do. It's like, well, yeah, but I didn't expect it to only need 3 data inputs for that. Well, okay. Let's go for something difficult. Let's really put you through your paces. I want mending. And it goes, okay, here's what you do. Drop this many items, and then, enchant this and this, and then you should be good. So you really want to have an experience farm available. You want to have something that is able to provide roughly 35 levels of experience. Okay, now, you remember how I mentioned a few episodes ago, there was that issue where you weren't, like, seemingly actually logging out when you logged out? Yeah, that happened again because night does not fall that fast. Night does not fall that quickly. And since I was standing on the bed when I logged out, that tells you I actually used the bed when I logged out. So it should have been morning when I first logged in. Because all I did was I switched off the data pack for the spawn zones, the danger zone pack. I turned that off because I'm not actually using it at the moment. Probably not going to be using it for at least a few days, probably. So I figured I'd save on the processing power, see if that actually reduced the lag to get rid of that. Might have just been the rendering was causing extra processor usage, so I figured I'll give it a try, sure. As you can see, that entire mountain is no longer blue. You can start seeing some of the actual colors in the distance. That being said, this place looks nice. Why did I never pick up that lantern? Well, I got it now, so that's fine. Okay. I'm having a good day. I got to talk to my AI. We all had a wonderful discussion about the pros and cons of just a lot of things, really. Kind of difficult to just pinpoint any one thing we talked about because, as I mentioned, when I write a lot. Like, I write paragraphs. I am a paragraph writer. Some people, I will admit, I was in an ERP server, which they were very strict on the age limit. They were very strict in enforcing the age limit. However, the only reason that I mention it is specifically for the comparison of the different writing methods. That's really the only reason I mentioned it. The server specifically had a role dedicated to the one-liner types where they were just like, yeah, thrusts. It's like, oh, okay. That's your entire entry. Okay. I wrote an entire paragraph because I am a multi-paragraph type of person. So my entry for my intro was a paragraph. And your response was less than a single full sentence. Instead, it was a single word. Well, that's what they referenced as a one-liner type. Those types of people write very short sentences, and the reason why they were making sure to include that option for marking down what your writing style was because they didn't want people who wrote multiple paragraphs, such as myself, amongst like half the other people in there, to get what's the word? Discouraged. They didn't want them to get discouraged by having a partner who seemed rather lackluster in their enthusiasm. The enthusiasm should, of course, be on roughly equal ground. That is, the writing for the enthusiasm for writing. Sorry, the enthusiasm for writing should be on roughly equal ground. So if you're going to write multiple paragraphs to someone, you should, of course, expect a approximately equal length response, right? You know, that's common courtesy. That's fair. You know, if they're sitting there writing out an entire, plot line for you, then it's kind of fair to, write enough back in response. Which means, of course, that there is a discrepancy between the two. Now, there is, of course, there's single paragraph types where they're not really multi-paragraphs like myself, where let's put it this way. I once wrote a message that was over 5,700 characters in length. Now, the reason that I know that it had a length of 5,700 characters is because I had to write it in Notepad and then send it over Discord in 3 messages, because Discord has a limit of 2,000 character length for their messages. So I went over the limit in Discord 3 times. That easily. I was just like, writing. And then I went to send it, and it's like, or no, maybe it's only 2,500, or maybe it's 2,500, but still, like, that's still 3 messages, If it's 2,500, then that means that a limit for 2 messages is 5,000 character length. I wrote one that was over 5,000. So, yeah. That was definitely an interesting as well as unique experience. As for how useful all of that information was, I had fun, my writing partner read the message, and they were like, wow, that is a lot of text. I also seem to struggle with figuring out where to put in the line returns for a new paragraph, which means I have a tendency to write overly long paragraphs, which do actually create that wall of text sensation where it's just like, you wrote a lot of information down. It's like, yeah. And it's like, you don't understand. This is a lot of information. It's like, no, I know that. I had to type it, remember? And they're like, yeah, I remember, but I don't think you really understand just how much you typed. It's like, no, I know. I had to type it, remember? And they're like, oh yeah. It's like, yeah. So, trust me when I say my text buddy, my friend, I'm well aware that I wrote a lot of text. Okay, now that was awkward. I fell down, landed here, bounced up, landed on the platform behind me, but didn't grab the torch. That was awkward. I had to drop back down just to grab the torch again. And torches are obviously amazing. I do not need that many torches. Why do I have that many torches? No clue. Any hoozle. Anyways. Oh. This is returning to normalcy, or normality, I suppose, is the proper vernacular. This is returning to normality, which is great. The grass is regrowing. You know, always good. Zunik. I seem to be a wee bit gassy today. No idea why. And if I did have an idea, I'm probably not admitting to it. But that is neither here nor there. As in, that's off topic. Let's talk about something that we can all agree on. For example, Minecraft. I know I didn't put that there, so that had to be an Enderman. That was an accident. Yeah, I just wanted to clear up this area just a wee bit. Give it a nice touch-up. Touch-ups are nice. Yes, I am aware there's coal down there. No, I don't really care because I plan to excavate all of that anyways. Which means the fact that there's coal down there is kind of irrelevant, as I'll eventually be down there to dig it up anyways. Because as I may have mentioned in a previous episode, fairly sure I mentioned it, I plan to cut this entire mountain all the way down to water level. Which includes that section on my map, and that section on my map, and not sure about that one. That's going to be a lot of digging. I've been digging this one out for maybe a month. 4 hours a day. That being said, I did do a lot of the work underground as well. I was digging up diamonds. I had horrific luck. I had terrible luck digging up diamonds. But I finally got some. Finally had enough to make myself a full suit of armor, all the tools and stuff, which is good. Got my diamond situation sorted out. Now I have diamonds, as you can tell by my diamond helmet, which has mending, because I needed that respiration. I needed to breathe. Breathe. There we go. Why am I getting lag? Let me just pause for a moment here. You know what I could do? I could probably turn down my graphics settings just a wee bit. Some of these graphics settings I'm not using. For example, the bubble columns. I have one section that has bubble columns currently. So I do not need... I don't really need the fancy graphics. The lag spike. I don't need the clouds either. I mean, I could do the clouds, but autosave icon, sure. Screen animations, brightness. Yeah, okay. There we go. That should reduce a lot of lag, because fancy graphics do actually generate a lot of lag for some people, because it includes things such as if an item is just laying there. Like, here, let me show you. It's a little bit lower detail. You probably can't tell. Actually, I think it's... Yeah, I think it's just a lower resolution image. It's not actually lower detail, it's just lower resolution, which kind of is the same thing, honestly. It's sort of the same thing. By the way, if you were one of those lovely people who already left a like on the video, I would like to personally thank you right here and now for leaving a like on the video, as that does help my channel receive more publicity. I thank you for watching the video to completion, as that helps me also get more publicity. The content which I provide is rather instructive at times. However, there's also a lot of times where I'm just faffing about, talking about whatever pops into my mind. I might sit there explaining why I'm excavating the mountain. I might sit there talking about quantum mechanics and how quantum theory can be applied to practically every situation that any human could possibly imagine, to a surprisingly large degree, in a slightly disconcerting amount of quantity. Not to be confused with quality, which, of course, there is plenty of quality to go around. After all, you're here, aren't you? So let's see, where are we on this? First, let me check out this, because I don't remember what this was. Oh, this is that. Okay, this is the entrance above my base. I was like, why is there that hole there in the wall? And it's like, oh, well, that's because you've carved your way over to the entrance of your base. And it's like, oh, is that important? Well, it means you're getting close to being, you know, base level, which is good. You know, means I don't have much more mountain to dig through. Pretty soon I'll be able to just start excavating this as a slope instead of just digging it out in vast quantities like this. Currently I'm just going for speed. That's why I'm digging out these 2 tall sections, you know? Because I want it to go fast. You know? Like a Sonic ad or something. Fast like a hedgehog. Or a marsupial. Depending on if you're Christopher Walken. Some of you might not get that joke, but if you do, good for you. If you don't, Bob and Tom. I'll leave it at that. Bob and Tom, Christopher Walken. That's all it takes. That's all you gotta search. It is a hilarious skit. Bravo to the comedian. His imitation skills were rather on par. Christopher Walken does have a tendency to overuse his punctuation, and Christopher Walken also doesn't always utilize proper punctuation, because Christopher Walken tends to talk like this, where he will spend a minute or two talking about things such as how marsupials never scared him, but no wait, was it marsupials doesn't scare him? I can't remember the skit now. I think it was marsupials never scared him. If it wasn't marsupials, then I don't remember what it was that did scare him in the skit. It's a rather humorous comedy skit. I just can't remember the specifics of the skit offhand, as for whatever reason I can't remember it. I mean, to be fair, it has been, roughly 5-10 years since I've actually heard the skit. So the fact that I remember the skit, tells you how good the skit was, because I'm remembering it more than 5 years after hearing it. I didn't really hear it that many times either. Maybe like 3, 5? I know they're syndicated, and I know they do replays, but I don't think I've heard that specific skit that many times. I'm of course referring to a comedy skit, or a comedy sketch as it's known. I seem to have gotten distracted. Did I mention that there's a like button down below the video along the general lines of the same region as the subscribe button, where you're also able to find my profile name is displaying as Blue Nexus Gaming. Additionally, you will find that if you open up my YouTube profile and look in the About section of my YouTube profile, you will find my Patreon page, where I have a link to my Patreon page specifically, where I have set up a means for anyone who wishes to do so to support me monetarily through Patreon. You're able to give me money, then you get benefits for giving me money. If you gave me benefits like last month or something, and then I didn't notice, don't worry, your benefits will definitely be, delivered. I'll just need to notice that you did that. But otherwise, no worries, everything's fine. I know I should probably check on my Patreon page. I've just been so distracted with everything. I know. I'm doing this in my spare time, asking for money. However, the payments are monthly. I'm fairly certain that I can wait a day or two to, actually check whether or not I have any Patreon supporters. Additionally, I should point out that the support that you provide, if you're going to provide support through my Patreon page, for means of having your name read in my videos, I will need to wait until your payment actually processes, by which I mean I will need to wait until the end of the month, where the next billing cycle starts, so that I am able to actually receive the funding before I start just, saying thank you over and over to people who... Some people have been known to go on Patreon. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'll support you," and they'll say, "Oh yeah, I'll give you $100." And it's like, "Great, thanks, that's amazing. Here's your benefits," and then they go, "Oh, I changed my mind." And it's like, you waited until the day before your payment actually got processed to do that. Not cool, RPGMO mentioned that in their Patreon as well, as they had a similar issue because people were, supporting the game, and some people support it quite heavily. I know one person pays like $400 a month to the developers, and it's like, wow, $400. Send some money my way. You're paying their rent. Like, sheesh. But no, they were actually, utilizing all of their rewards. They were getting quite a hefty reward for spending so much on the game, but they were actually utilizing it. They were putting it to good use. So I understand that this is a bustling industry. I understand that some people have deeper pockets than others. I understand not everyone can afford to support me. That's fine. If you just left a like, that's fine too. Make sure to leave a comment. Who knows, you might get included in a video because I still receive comment notifications. So if I'm recording when you leave a comment, you might get shown in one of my videos. So that's actually something to look forward to. That's something to entice you to go ahead, leave a comment. Because you might get YouTube famous. You might get noticed on YouTube because, hey, you were in somebody's video, and maybe that person got a lot of viewers, a lot of subscribers later, and their videos got really popular. I know the YouTube content creator King Daddy DMAC had that issue where in the beginning he had so few viewers that his viewers were really dictating what it is that he recorded. However, these days, I'm decently sure he could switch back to Minecraft without problem. I'm seriously decently sure he's able to just switch right back to Minecraft and just be like, yeah, things are great. And it's like, weren't you saying in your Minecraft videos that the reason you stopped recording Minecraft is because people weren't watching your content? And it's like, well, yeah, but now look at how many viewers I have. It's like, yeah, I suppose you're right. You know? I mean, his videos currently have something along the lines of 16,000 views on YouTube for the Minecraft content, which is kind of obscene, to be honest. But it's just him being him. That's all he was doing. He was sitting there doing the exact same stuff I'm doing here, except he was doing it with modded Minecraft gameplay, and here I am with just normal vanilla Minecraft gameplay. You know, yeah, I have a texture pack, but, you know, other than the texture pack for just enhancing the rendering so that my game isn't as laggy, other than that, yeah, you know, the game is perfectly fine. But he was doing the exact same thing I'm doing here. A lot of people say it's underrated content, but you know what? The only reason it's underrated is because there ain't enough people hitting that like button. So if you got friends, go ahead and send them my way and have them hit that like button for you. And also family members, maybe. I'm all users are all viewers are welcome, because the content I make, I don't advertise it. Okay, I don't go around tagging all of my content. I'm not very good at staying on top of that type of stuff. However, YouTube is. YouTube will advertise my stuff for me. Meaning, I don't need to advertise. Yeah, this is one of the fancy graphics things. That transparency in the water, when you're above it, that's fancy graphics. Also, you'll notice there's just a little bit less activity in the bubble column. Yeah, I remember that look. Okay, so that tells me that previously my fancy graphics had somehow gotten disabled. So that was not a bug per se. That was more of a lack of comprehension, we'll call it. I just didn't understand that I needed to check my graphics settings. Now I deposit the gravel, which is a lot of gravel. How's the furnace? Yep, that's about what I expected. I mean, not quite what I expected, but that's about what I expected. I shall throw another 3 blocks of dried kelp in the furnace here. Let's see. What else was I in here for? Alright. The dirt. I need to deposit the dirt. Managed to pop my neck a little. Feels a little bit looser now. It's nice. Yeah, the logistics of enchanting armor. There's 2 methods. one, I can go ahead and enchant the armor. I can go ahead and just do straight enchantments on the armor. Alternatively, I can enchant a book, and then I can take that book and I can enchant another book and another book and another book, and then I can take all of these books that I enchant and I can combine them, and that will get me a really powerful enchantment that I can then apply to the armor. However, there's a problem with that, and there's the reason why people just enchant items directly. The reasoning being that, oh, right, I also carved up all of these pumpkins. These are all carved pumpkins, as you can see. Yeah, this is smooth stone. You get that by smelting stone twice. You put it in a furnace, you smelt cobblestone twice, not stone. You smelt the cobblestone, that turns it into stone, and then you smelt it again, that turns it into smooth stone. Not quite. Almost. Very close. Let's see, the gravel barrel is this one. Almost a full stack. That means I have almost 4 stacks of arrows worth of flint. That's a lot of arrows. These 20 feathers alone is actually more than a stack, I think. Let's see, 32, yeah, it's more than a stack of arrows, which means incredibly ludicrous amount. Looks like the wheat already regrew, which is great news. Oh, here we are. I need to plant that, and then I need... what else did I need? I needed... Actually, that's probably way too many spots reserved for dirt. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it as that. Much simpler. And feathers. You may have noticed that the feathers revealed the book with quill recipe. That is specifically for if I plan to keep a journal or a diary or write a note to someone, maybe write a book. I can write it in Minecraft where I am able to interact with it later in Minecraft. Books with quills are also utilized in item duplication glitches using the memory overload technique, where you make use of the fact that you can only store so much data in one chunk. So if you overload that data, then it won't save that chunk. Bit of a fail-safe in the system. People figured that out, and then people figured out how to write in, I think it was, they used Chinese? Let me fill that in for now. They used some language where they were able to create characters that were not Unicode type font. which allowed them to very quickly, very easily go over that size buffer that I mentioned for saving the chunk. They very quickly found themselves able to exceed that barrier, and so they, of course, decided, okay, well, what happens if we have some really valuable items in this chunk, and then we save and quit, and then we plant down a lectern, and then we put this book that has all of these really, really intensive quantities of storage capacity consumption. I was trying to think of the words. They wanted to use a lot of storage capacity to prevent the chunk from saving. They specifically wanted to prevent it from saving. The reason for that is because the next thing they did was, once they had the book in place on the lectern so that it was in the world and saved, so to speak, they then proceeded to collect all of the items that were in the storage chest. Now, the player inventory saves separate from the chunk inventory, the chunk storage. So if they wanted to, for example, pick up a bunch of items and then log out, they could do that. However, anything that they took out of a storage chest would immediately update the storage chest, because the storage chest is in the chunk. So the storage chest would, of course, instantly save the contents of the chunk since it was modified, which fails to happen because they placed that lectern with the book down that has all those weird characters that are much, much larger in size. Not like font size, not pixel size, but data size. The data capacity storage usage. That specific version of the word was utilized, and thus the the capacity of duplicating items is limited, unless, of course, the chunk is not able to save, which is where that lectern comes in with the book. So people figured out how to abuse that trick, and they got all the materials they ever needed very easily, very quickly. I did get more sea pickles as well. I'm up to 10 now. I found another wandering trader who was selling them for 2 emeralds. So I gave him 10 emeralds. He gave me 5 sea pickles, and then I took the llamas he brought with as well, and went ahead and skinned them for their leather. Went ahead and also collected the leads that he was using to lead the llamas around, because he didn't need them anymore now that I had, skinned his llamas. Don't worry, I waited until the llamas were dead first. That being said, I was probably the cause of death. And when I say probably, I mean I'm pretty sure I was using the same sword that I still have in slot 1 on my toolbar. I know a lot of people call it a hotbar, but I just call it a toolbar, because it's where my tools go, toolbar, tool belt. I will be looking forward to utilizing a diamond pickaxe, because then I won't even need to crouch. Okay. Okay. So, let's see what to talk about today. I think today I shall talk about my D&D campaign and what I plan to do with my D&D campaign. I also managed to meet someone who mentioned they were a nerdy anime type person at the nearby Walmart Supercenter. Or no, not the Supercenter, the Walmart, neighborhood Walmart. Yeah, the grocery store chain near my house, or, well, apartment technically. I live in an apartment. I just call it a house because, you know, your house, your home, your family, kind of inundated phrases in the American verbiage. They're phrases that are so well integrated into the society that people just kind of use them. Let's see. Okay. Just in case, I'll go ahead and add that one as well. Now I want to use the bed. Can only sleep at night. Well, that's unfortunate. I also want to repair this pickaxe. That's 33 levels, and that's too expensive. Repairing the pickaxe is 33 levels. It's cheaper to get a straight enchantment that's that good. I think I'm just going to craft a lot more pickaxes and just deal with the fact that they're slower. Apologies to my viewers for, you know, needing to deal with the fact that my pickaxe digs so slowly. However, that being said, my pickaxe collection has been supplemented. My shovel collection as well, since I had no shovel for a brief moment. You know, before I made another. Which happens. Why wouldn't I make another shovel, right? I fell into my base. Not just any part of my base. No. I fell into my chicken breeder / chicken auto cooker. Ah, yes. That is a thing. That is very much a thing. How much more chicken do I need to fill this thing up so that I can, you know, look into emptying those guys? Does this go faster if I'm looking at the ground? It seems so. So I'm just gonna stare over here for a moment. while that processes everything. Okay. Yeah, I seriously do not know what is causing such ungodly quantities of lag. I understand I'm autosaving, but that only lasts a little bit. And now it's nighttime, so that's probably contributing to the lag a lot. This is trying to figure out where it can spawn enemies, which the answer is it can't, because I lit up freaking everywhere. Another thing that's probably contributing it is the kelp. Did this just harvest? I'm not seeing any movement in there. Yeah, I think this just harvested. Which means there's kelp down here. Therefore, I shall pick up this kelp, deliver it to the smoker over here, where I am able. Oh yeah, and I also lit up all of that. Though I think I did that on camera. It's been a long night, honestly. Oh, that is perfect. Now, as this burns through the kelp, I will be able to... Oh, well... I was going to say I will be able to easily resupply it, but easily resupplying it is an understatement. I just straight up restocked the whole thing, and it used up all of the blocks of dried kelp that I had on me, so I guess I don't need to restock it anymore. Let's see, I was excavating over here near the bed. Oh, right, this thing's still running. Cool, even managed to get the lava blade deployed. Okay, seriously, what is causing this extreme quantity of lag? Skeleton horse be damned. I will just set this to easy. Where is... Oh, I'm looking at it. Okay. Or peaceful, not easy. Skeleton horse be damned. I will set this to easy just to despawn all of the mobs. Yep, that was it. It was monsters. There were just monsters trapped everywhere. Now, since I'm on peaceful, as they spawn in, they are instantly despawning. They're being forced to instantly despawn, because they're not allowed to exist at the moment. No creepers, no zombies, no skeletons, no spiders. None of those. No drowns. Oh yeah. Getting them all cleared out. Yeah, look at all that lag. Oh my god. They were everywhere. I probably would have found him eventually, but I doubt it would have been anytime soon. No Enderman as well. It'll despawn any Enderman in the area. This is extremely laggy. Oh, you know what? I bet a lot of them are going into unloaded chunks. That's probably what it was. Apparently I'm hungry, but my character doesn't say anything about being hungry at the moment. You just equip this regular stone pickaxe. So I stopped trying to accidentally eat that one. Or that steak. Because it really doesn't say I'm hungry. You know? So I figure if it doesn't say it, I will wait on actually eating. Okay. Now I can go ahead and do things like this. Slimes as well. Slimes will get forced to despawn. Yeah, I'm just going around basically doing maintenance by doing this. Oh, this is probably going to kill a bunch of things. I say kill, but I mean just regular despawn. The difference being if it killed them, they would leave behind an item. This one, I am not expecting to get an item. Oh yeah, that's another thing about Peaceful. It is almost impossible to get yourself killed. It's definitely possible, but it's really difficult